Every so often I get offered a collection on preview, which I describe as someone knows they want their stuff to go to a good home and they're willing just to send it to me. Let me kind of open it up and evaluate it and send them a fair offer to purchase it. And that's what this guy did. This came from Missouri. Gonna cut into this box right now. We'll see what came in on preview and if I can make him a fair offer that'll make him happy. Hi everyone, I'm Jason Spangler. I go by SanteeSwapper on the internet. I buy scouting memorabilia collections from scouters, from families, from storage pickers, from estate sale companies. And on this channel, what I try to do is unbox them and share some of the history. So let's get into this box, which looks to be from St. Louis, and we'll show you some of the cool stuff that we found. All right, first off, we have a really nice uniform shirt. And what you'll notice about this is a little unusual is this is a classic polyester wool shirt. And so this would have been more of a fancier shirt than your typical guy. In fact, you can kind of see over here, there's a couple of little holes there because again, part of this was wool. And so some critter might have got in there and taken a bite out of this. But you can see here the position. This is position of Assistant Scoutmaster. Now, he kept on his life badge and his arrow of light from Cub Scouts. Typically, an adult scouter would not wear those on a uniform, but that's okay. We don't have uniform police. He's from Shawnee Lodge, which is the longtime lodge from St. Louis. And then this Piece of Bird Trail is a pretty cool patch. It's been kind of rough around the edges there, but I always thought that was a cool design. There's sort of a legend of the Piece of Bird, and so this trail kind of goes with that. It's along a river, and for some reason I want to say it's kind of like, I don't know, I want to say it's closer to Illinois. I could be wrong about that. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. But nice old shirt there. Then next we have this box. I see this a lot. I'm gonna point this out. Check out this. They've like taken a Sharpie and like, you know, given this guy a monocle, given this guy, you know, a mustache, and this guy's got a little goatee, a black tornado, you know. So I sometimes see these scout handbooks that are pretty messed up. So this is sort of a classic one from the 60s. This was the April 1966 second printing of the 7th edition. And they printed 600,000 copies of this book. Because guys, in the 1960s, there were 6 million boys registered in Boy Scouts, the peak of membership. So there are tons and tons of this book out there. Not a lot of value in this book, in this condition especially, but maybe a scout today would think it's kind of funny, and I might be able to find someone who would like that. Again, Shawnee Lodge, so here's a little handbook just for Lodge members. I won't show you too much of this because it's probably confidential. And I don't want to give away any of the secrets of the Order of the Arrow. Similarly, here we have an OA handbook from that time period. Again, this Shawnee Lodge, it's like a little hand-drawn design there. Little tray here with some knickknacks, including a little slide, 796, that could have been a troop number, possibly. This is kind of fun, a little leather Boy Scout wallet. Oh, let's check and see. Oh, no money in there, all right. These old wallets, there was a coin purse built into them. And then right here, you pop this guy open and you'd have your pictures. Now, raise your hand if you had pictures in your wallet growing up. If you had a little thing like this and you might have a picture of your girlfriend or, you know, your mom or something in here. So I used to have little wallet-sized pictures, I confess. This is a victuals kit. This is kind of that older style. When I say victuals kit, I mean fork, knife, and spoon. So there's your knife, there's the spoon, and there's a little fold-out fork. These are still cool. To me, these are classic. They never go out of style. And any scout today could use this victuals kit on a camping trip. So I love getting those in collections and then helping scouts put that in their collection. Some paperwork here. Famous Eagle Camp Sakima, SF Scout Ranch, St. Louis Area Council. This looks to be like just a binder full of paperwork. There's a uniform. This is always kind of fun. Let me point this one out. The Boy Scouts put out these catalogs, obviously to sell stuff to scouts back in the day. And what I love about it is it's a real time, it's like a snapshot in time. Spring and summer of 73. Check this out. Look at those red berets. It's not a raspberry beret, but anyways, red berets. Everybody who went to the 73 Jamboree was wearing a red beret. So you can kind of flip through here and see, I would skip past, you know, the tents and stuff, although there's a classic Voyager. Ooh, some of us like hand axes and axes and knives. So even in 73, check out those badass Western sheath knives. Ooh, let's see how much those were. I love those sheath knives. So there's oh man, the smaller one is only $6.25. The longer one is $7. Nice. And then they got the folding pocket knives that are about $10. So that is crazy. There was a folding sheath knife. I guess that's what they call this one right here. I would call that a single lock blade. I wouldn't call that a sheath knife. But anyways, that's all right. See, I get caught up in this. I love this stuff. All right, again, there's a scout wearing his red beret. Oh, here we go. Check out those pimps. Oh, look at there. You got the whole thing. Now, here's an Explorer in his dark green all the way through. Actually, it says Scouts BSA, which probably at that time might have even been Leadership Corps, not Explorers. I'm sorry, because Explorers probably weren't wearing a star rank patch. And then you got here the alternate cap, so you would have the red beret or this alternate cap. And of course, these Scouts are fully loaded. I have no idea what the hell this boy is wearing. Let's see if we can see. Number 19, what is that he is wearing? That looks very 1970s. It says he is wearing camp warmers, insulated pants, and zippered jacket filled with Dacron quilted nylon. I have never seen that in my life. I have seen that green poncho, but I have never seen the camp warmers, probably because nobody ever bought it. At that time, you still could have a little Smokey the Bear hat. That's number 4 headgear. It's called a campaign hat. And at that time, it was $6.95. Oh, man. So there's all the choices for your headgear. There's a winter cap and, of course, what we call the garrison cap. Then you have some jackets over here, your Jack's shirt. And then during this time, they had these little polyester zip-ups that had a little white pocket. And then this one is kind of more from the 60s, sort of a cotton poplin blend. So, again, kind of fun to look and see what kind of uniforms they were wearing. Again, I said an adult leader one. This is kind of that adult leader sharp uniform that we just saw from the guy. That looks like the poly wool blend one, which I'm almost sure it is. And then, again, adult leaders and the one with his Jack shirt. There's the wallet he had. All right, I could go down the rabbit hole a little too deep on these uniform catalogs, so I'll skip past that. All right, nice little leather neckerchief slide here. Camp May, 65, St. Louis Area Council. Charter Oak Camper, Camp Sakima, St. Louis Area Council. These are very specific to that area. There's a wooden back on the neckerchief slide. It's been glued attached to this leather, which I think is pretty cool. Camp Promoter, Shawnee Lodge. One of the missions of the Arrow was to promote camping, and so lodge members would go to troop meetings and try to promote the summer camp program, and also, I'm sure, short-term camping as well. Now, this is kind of a real classic design here, the red felt vest. So this is kind of the brag vest. If you were in Europe, this would be a whole blanket. They have this thing called campfire blankets. We won't get into that. But you can see he's got his medal here from the Piece of Bird Trail. Got that cute little, again, sort of a legendary animal. And then Fort Russell Wilderness Trail Hiker, another trail medal. I'm not sure what that one is. That might be a district patch there. He was in Den 5. You can see he got his Cub Scout stuff in over here. You can see he got all the way through Star. His life patch is on his uniform. And then on the back, we have more. Another Piece of Bird repeat. He went to it again. Lewis and Clark, some Conclave and other Shawnee patches. So just a really classic felt vest. Over here we have his merit badge sash. Now again, we saw the guy did not get Eagle, so he got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17 merit badges according to his sash. So he needed 21 to get Eagle, and he would have had to have done his project and some other things. So it looks like he might have just fallen short to get Eagle. Here's a pair of pants that goes with that uniform. Again, this is these poly wool pants that sometimes people today like, although the color of the old pants from the back of the day is different than what we have today. Of course, he's going to have some Order of the Arrow sashes. Really nice to see how well these were kept up. Looks like he has a Brotherhood sash in there, and I'm guessing the other one behind it is probably his Ordeal sash. Yes, and it is an Ordeal sash. Then, as we talked about a minute ago, he had a red jacket. This typically was worn by adults, but wasn't exclusive to adults. Let's see what size this one is. It is a size 18, so that's a little bit more of a youth size. But then again, look at these beautiful patches on the back. Piece of Bird Trail. That's just a really, really beautiful patch. And then he's got his Shawnee Lodge jacket patch as well. So I think somebody from that area would definitely love to get that back home. Man, we call the Brotherhood of Cheerful Service. That's what the Order of the Arrow is, right? look how filthy dirty his OA neckerchief is. Now, luckily, I've got a few techniques for how to get those things clean, but it's good to see that he was not just laying around. He was getting some cheerful service done for the Order of the Arrow. Nothing on that one. That looks like a troop one. Just some regular pants and shorts. This was one of the options as well. This is kind of the garrison cap that we saw. And again, this one is kind of the poly wool one, which again is kind of roughed up a little bit. He must have, either not stored this in a good place or maybe just had some other problems. And then let's see what this guy is. Now that is interesting. What do we have here? So this is an Explorer emblem, and this is a Universal Explorer emblem that I think could have been used as far back as the 1970s. This gray shirt is not an official Boy Scout shirt. In fact, we can see there it is Big Mac from JCPenney. How about that? JCPenney right there. But it is over here, St. Louis Area Council, 999. So that's an odd number. But again, it would have been an Explorer post, and this would have been his Explorer post patch for the crew, or the post, I should say. I have no idea what that symbol means, but this is kind of unusual. I don't know that it has value other than somebody from St. Louis might like to have it, but it's kind of an oddball, an Explorer post shirt. But Explorer posts were allowed to kind of make up their own rules about what they wore, and so maybe that's what happened in that situation. Because it's gray, I almost wonder if maybe it was attached to like the police department. I don't know, I'm just kind of making that up. But during that time period, Explorer posts were usually sort of like based on a vocation. So you'd have ones that were for the fire department, the police department, medical explorers, that kind of thing. And since that one's gray, it kind of looks like to me like sort of a police officer thing, but who knows. But anyways, what I'll do now is message the guy back. I need a little thinking and come up with an offer for him on this box, and we'll shoot that to him and then see how he'd like to get paid and go ahead and settle up with him. So this is a great little collection to get. It's very much sort of a time capsule collection of someone who did scouting in St. Louis during that time period, and they kept all their stuff together, but that's fine. Even large or small, you'll see in these unboxing videos, some of the collections I get are tiny, and then some of them are just boxes and boxes full. I have to go get them sometimes. We don't do that too often, but every once in a while I have to go get a collection. So anyways, Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper. Again, if you have a collection like this, whether it's yours or from a loved one, I would love to talk to you, help you get these recycled back into scouting. Go to my website, scoutpatchcollectors.com. There you can find all my contact information, and I will be ready to talk to you. This is not where I'm normally going to be doing my unboxing videos. I had my internet guy come over the other day, and he's going to set up a better internet system so we can stream from back over there. We have a room that's going to be dedicated to streaming, but right now we have to get the internet working better. It's just a little too laggy for what I need. So he's going to come and fix me up, and I'll be ready to stream from there. So until then, I hope you like this new format. I do like being able to kind of like, hold stuff up and show you guys. I think that kind of works a little bit better than filming from my desk. So, all right, appreciate you watching.